How's it going, everyone? And welcome back. Well, I figured I'd give you one more surprise review for the end of the year, and I even dressed up for it a little bit. But what could I possibly talk about? Well, I thought I'd talk about a titan of the YouTube space, a living legend among gamers everywhere. You might know him as James Rolfe, but everybody knows him as the Angry Video Game Nerd.
2006 YouTube. A time where people were allowed to be free and not be burdened by ads and copyright strikes. The day of the annoying orange, chocolate rain, and the evolution of dance. When Star Wars Kid could do his thing and David could make it home from the dentist.
Anybody else remember AMVs? Those were the times.
Along with all that came this little channel whose mission was to take you back to the past to look at shitty games. Throw in a memorable theme song and you got yourself a series. Even though the nerd began life on James's website Cinemassacre, his presence on YouTube was felt immensely, inspiring many, and as a kid I couldn't get enough of it. This man gave me my love for retro video games.
I got an NES as a Christmas present because I loved his videos so much. Granted, I had to watch him when nobody was around, but that's pretty crazy impact if you ask me.
After 2013 is when I started to veer away from the nerd. I was pretty big into James and Mike Mondays up until 2016, but seeing the channel now with the podcast and influence from Screenwave Media, it's hard to really get attached to the channel anymore. In no way am I denying the success he's garnered with nearly 4 million subscribers, a feature-length movie that he directed and starred in, and the subject of today's video, a game made to honor his persona.
He may not have been the first of his kind, but he definitely set the precedent for the dozens and dozens of video reviews that have come and gone over the years, and I feel like we all owe a little something to him. But enough about me rambling. Let's get into the actual meat and potatoes of this video.
As a fan, you bet your ass I was excited to play this. I would be late to the party, however, because I didn't get around to it until 2017. It was developed by Freak Zone Games, which I haven't played much of their stuff besides the 2 AVGN games, but their catalog looks pretty good. In this video, I'm playing the Wii U version. Why? Because I fucking felt like it, that's why. Also, I won't be going over the AVGN Deluxe collection, because I don't own it.
Well, like the man always says, let's pop this fucker in. Well, I can't really pop it into anything, it's a digital game. So, not sure what to do next. I have an idea. Well, this'll do.
Rated F for fuckballs, huh? Must be a new category for the ESRB. So after the most basic ass title screen imaginable, we begin our story with the nerd playing some game and his friends huddled up next to him. They all get sucked into the TV with him being dragged in by the balls.
How appropriate?
Now we get the tutorial with Nagi the annoying as fuck fairy, and upon completion you're thrust into the game where you need to save your friends and destroy this miserable shitload fuck of a game.
Oh no, I am not holding back with any of this shit.
As far as AVGN goes, it's not a bad premise for a game, but there's just nothing really to go over. Those 3 sentences are the best you're gonna get, and I guess it is fitting seeing as how this is a throwback to the NES.
Surprised I didn't grab him by the ass. Anyway, let's just move on to the fucking gameplay.
You ever played Contra? That's essentially what the gameplay is. Also, I want to note that I played the game with a Pro Controller, and while you can play with the gamepad and do some off-TV gameplay, the Pro Controller just feels nicer to grasp even with the right analog stick being above the face buttons. Anyway, you fire your zapper by pressing the Y button. You can shoot in all 8 directions and even have a lock-on with ZL, which is extremely useful. Since this has platforming, you can also jump with the B button, and X will use your power-ups. First of the bunch being these pebbles you can throw. They launch at an angle and are incredibly situational. Next is the Glitch Gremlin, who can freeze enemies in place, but their hitbox is still active, so that sucks. Lastly is Super Mecha Deathchrist, who is always useful no matter what the situation. You can also pick up the Super Scope, which packs a punch but is fucking useless. One hit and you're back to the pea shooter, so you might as well not even use it. You can also find your friends in certain levels to lend you some extra service, and you can switch to them by pressing L and R. They all have their uses, but they also have some massive weaknesses. First is the guitar guy, who is quick on his feet and can shoot through walls with his music. His jump doesn't make him great for platforming, but he's great for bosses and certain obstacles. Motherfucker Mike jumps the highest, but has horrible traction and shitty range with his lightsaber. He's also able to find secrets, which doesn't really matter much. Last of which is the Bullshit Man, who is the strongest and has a double jump to boot. I don't really find myself using him unless I really need the added power. That's basically it as far as gameplay goes. It's a nice blend of Contra shooting and Mega Man platforming. It ain't all perfect since the jumping is a bit too precise and the power-ups don't really matter that much. Let's move on to all the other shit this game has. There's 8 levels you can pick freely, and that also includes a tutorial and an extra stage you unlock by beating the others. Among the list we have Assholevania, Happy Fun Candy Time, Future Fuckballs 2010, Blizzard of Balls, Thy Farts Consumed, Dungeons and Dickholes, Beat It and Eat It, and Boo! Haunted House. They're all fun level themes and nice homages to the videos of Nerd Past. That's not even getting into the dozens upon dozens of references and Easter eggs scattered all over the place. My favorite has to be the first ladder of Dungeons and Dickholes. Besides the enemies and obstacles plastered all over the place, each level ends with a boss that can range from being fun to making you want to pull your fucking hair out. I should say now that this game is fucking difficult. If it isn't some annoying as fuck enemies, it's the many hazards you'll come across that'll bring your piss to a boil, like the death blocks. These are fucking everywhere, and you'll run into one fairly often and be greeted by that death screen. This has to be the most Mad Lib shit you will ever see. Besides this, I ran into some other things that nearly made me crack my fucking controller in two. The waterfalls in Happy Fun Candy Time. Disappearing blocks. The 3 ghost boss in the winter level. Holy shit, this made me nearly punch a hole in my TV. Anything involving Boo! Haunted House. I'm not even gonna mention Laugh and Joke and Numbnuts. This game definitely has that old school difficulty, and with enough determination, you will get to the end and beat it. What? You know what? I'm not even going to talk about it. That's the difficulty I picked. Alright, yes, it's easy, but you know what? It's my video and I can do whatever the fuck I want. Assholes. If it isn't sheer will that'll keep you playing, it'll be the soundtrack for sure. I love damn near every track, with Future Fuckballs, Assholevania, and Thy Farts Consumed being my favorites. Graphics are fine. That's all. Last thing I want to talk about is this game doesn't really have much of what you call substance. Besides the other characters, there are cameos you can find, but it's not really enough to keep you playing. Alright, you know what? Time to end this shitload fuck of a review. AVGN Adventures can be a cruel and unforgiving son of a bitch, but it's fundamentally a solid retro experience and a loving tribute to the nerd himself. With that said, the people who are going to get the most enjoyment are the nerd fans. I can't really recommend this game unless you either love James or you want a game that'll kick your ass hard. Since I am a fan, even I don't think this game is perfect, since the control can be stiff and all the death blocks become unbearable after a certain point. With that, it's still a good time that I like to come back to on occasion. The game's worth about $5 on Steam, so it's worth it for the fans, who have most likely played it already. So, that's it. The year's over. Well, we did pretty good on the reviews, did we? I mean, we got the Marvel Marathon done, I got New Super Mario Brothers, and I was able to squeeze in AVGN Adventures, so that's worth something, right? Yeah.
Well, safe to say that pretty excited for next year. Got a lot of stuff coming up, a lot of stuff that I'm really excited about, and stuff that I can't wait to share with you guys once the time comes. But until then, hope you all have a great night. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a happy new year. Take care, everybody.